Alright, good day everyone. As you all know, my name is Tutor Joseph and welcome to my YouTube channel. Please endeavor to subscribe, share, like and comment. It is very important. Alright, so please, I'll be taking on a topic today called feeding mechanism in animals, alright, in living things. And of course, feeding mechanism has to do with the various processes or the various means or methods that organisms engage themselves in order for them to survive in their environment. And for them to survive in their environments, there are certain features that these organisms must have, and you call that what? Adaptation. Adaptation is a process where living organisms have, it's a process where they possess features and functions in order for them to tolerate or withstand the extreme changes in their environment. Okay, so let us take it. Feeding. This marker is not good enough. Feeding mechanism. Now I'm going to be taking bit by bit. Number one, I'm going to be taking biting and chewing mechanism. Biting and chewing mechanism. In order for these organisms to bite and chew or to masticate, they have various organs. That is, their mouth is made up of different divisions or different segments that enable them to feed on substances, they bite and they chew. Good examples of biting and chewing mechanism are the grasshoppers. Of course, the grasshoppers are called Zoonoceros. Variegators, alright? They are biting and chewing organisms. Another example is cockroaches, Periplaneta africana, alright? So the both of them are good examples of biting and chewing mechanism. That is because they have certain organs, alright? Their mouth parts are segmented or are made up of different organs that help them to survive or that help them to bite and chew their food substances or materials. Now, what are these organs? Number one, they have what they call, they have labrum. This labrum is otherwise called the upper lip. Alright, this labrum helps food materials from falling off the mouth of these organisms. Alright, it helps or it prevents food from falling off the mouth of the organisms. Labrum is otherwise called what? Upper lip. Now, number two, they have what they call mandibles. They have mandibles. Alright. Now they have a pair of mandibles. Now these mandibles, they are actually heavy and toothed. Alright. They are heavily toothed. It's like jaw-like structures. And what does it do? It helps for chewing and what? Biting. These mandibles enable them to chew and bite. And it is heavily what? Toothed. It is like the structure of what? A jaw. Now number three, you have the maxillae. Alright. They have a pair of maxillae. Now this maxillae, it helps to further grind or chew substances that were initially masticated by the mandibles for further grinding. Okay. Now I said labrum prevents food materials from falling off the mouth of these organisms. Now, the mandibles, they are heavily toothed and jaw-like in nature, and they help for what? Biting and chewing. Now the maxillae, they have a pair of maxillae that chew the food materials that were initially what? Masticated by the mandibles. And fourthly, they have the labrium. Now please look at the eyes here, but no eye. Now this labrum is called the lower lip. Now this labrum prevents the wastage of food materials. It prevents materials from being wasted from the organism. That is food, prevent food wastage, okay? Now they're asking which of these mouth parts of maybe grasshopper, cockroaches is or prevents the falling of food off the mouth of these organisms. It is the labrum. The labrum helps to prevent what? It helps to, okay, falling off, okay, it helps to prevent food wastage. Labrum. This one, it further grinds. This one, it bites and chews. This one prevents food from falling off the mouth. So these are the various mouth parts of biting and chewing animals, like the grasshoppers, Noceros virgatus, cockroaches, Periplaneta africana. Alright, so number two, I believe this one is well assimilated. Please take note of that. Take note of that. Number two, let us take trapping and absorbing mechanism. Now, this trapping and absorbing mechanism is exhibited or possessed by animals or plants that feed on insects, like insectivorous or carnivorous plants. Now, in my previous class, I did mention 5 organisms which are insectivorous in form. I shall be listing them here again. Now, 5 popular parasitic plants or insectivorous plants that feed on insects. You have the sundew, you have the bladderwort, you have, oh, let me get to better matter, please. You have butterworts, you have pitcher plants, and the last one you have Venus fly. So these organisms, they possess trapping and absorbing what? Mechanism. Now this sundew is a carnivorous plant. By the nastic movement, alright, catches the insect because the leaves are like they have like figure-like projections, so that as soon as the insects perch on the leaves, they are entangled by the leaves of sundew. Similar phenomenon occurs here. These organisms, they undergo similar phenomenon. So once they trap the insect, all right, because their leaves are usually what? Spongy. They have spongy leaves, all right, and some have on their leaves they have mucus, all right, that help them to stick the insect to their leaves. Once they trap the insect, they will absorb nutrients from the insect. So these are the examples of organisms that exhibit trapping and absorbing mechanism. I hope that is well understood. Now number 3 is going to be sucking. Number 3 is going to be piercing and sucking mechanism. Now, there are 3 popular species that are known to carry out piercing and sucking mechanism. Now, the word piercing and the word sucking, they are 2 different things. Alright? Now, there are 3 major organisms that are capable of exhibiting piercing and sucking mechanism. You have the mosquitoes are examples of piercing and sucking organisms. You have the housefly, and you have the butterfly. Now, these organisms, they exhibit piercing and sucking what? Mechanism. Now, mosquitoes, for example, have piercing organ. It possesses a piercing organ called proboscis. All right. So let me get a better marker. These organisms, the three of them, they have a piercing organ. All right. Now, this proboscis enhances these organisms to pierce through the bloodstream, to pierce through the skin of the organism in question and suck blood from it. Now, all the mouth parts of mosquitoes are modified into an organ called stylet. All the mouth parts of mosquitoes are joined together to form what is called what? Stylet. Now, this stylet helps for the easy penetration of the proboscis through the skin of the organisms it wishes to suck blood from. Now, stylets. Now, what are these various mouth parts of these mosquitoes that are modified collectively into stylets? Now, number one, they have labrum. Two, they have maxillary pap. They have maxillas. They have hypopharynx, and they have mandibles. Now, these parts, these organs, these various parts found in mosquitoes are all said to have make up the stylets. All right, there is a collective name for all these. It's called what? Stylet. Please take note of that. Please take notes. All these mouth parts are sharp except the labrum. Right, the labrum is not as sharp as these other mouth parts. So please take note of that. Now, what about the housefly? The housefly has proboscis as well for sucking. All of them, they have piercing and sucking mechanism. So please take note of that. I believe this one is well comprehended. Now, the fourth one is going to be let me give you grinding mechanism. Now, these grinding mechanisms are possessed by certain animals whose teeth are well defined. All right, they have complete set of teeth. For example, like goats, sheep, mammals, like we humans. All right, there are so many cattle. All right, now they have grinding mechanism. They can chew. All right, please take note of something. The herbivores. Okay, now they have canine. They have incisors. They have premolars. They have molars, and that is where it stops. Now, please, I'm not taking dentition, all right? If I'm taking dentition, I'm going to be explaining each term here bit by bit, but let me just throw a little light on each. Now, I said they have grinding mechanism, that is, they have the ability to grind their food substances. For example, now the canine is usually flat in form, and it is used to what? Bite or cut food materials. Okay, no, please. The incisors, which are the first four teeth here. The first four teeth at the front, and lower, you have four here. So please, the incisors are the teeth that are what? Flat. But this canine is usually like chisel. in form, that is pointed. It is used for tearing food substances. All right, and it is this canine that is present in carnivorous animals like the cheetahs, dogs, all right, lions, so that when it is the canines are used to get hold to their prey, two up, two down. Now the canine is used for tearing of food substances and for getting hold to prey. The incisors are flat in form, and it is used for what? Biting or cutting. Now premolars are modified for what? Grinding, while the molars are there to further grind the food materials which were grinded before. Please take note of this. Herbivores, herbivores are animals that feed on herbs, they feed on grasses. Now they lack canine. All right, they lack canine. They only have what? Incisors. Now the space between the incisors and the first premolar of herbivorous animal is occupied by a space called diastema. In an example of herbivorous animal are sheep, goats, cow, rabbits. All right, you have a lot of it. Now the herbivorous animals, they feed on herbs. Now they have incisors, they do not have canine. So the space between the incisors and the first premolar is occupied by a space called what? Diastema. Please take note of that. It is very, very important. And of course, you know that in animals, during the chewing of food materials, there's what called tyalin in the mouth. Okay, an alkaline substance that helps in moisturizing or moistening the food that has been what? Chewed. Now bring the food together in form of what? A bolus. I'm not teaching digestion, okay? Now the last one, which is the fifth feeding mechanism I'm going to be discussing now. The fifth one is absorbing mechanism. Somebody shout absorbing mechanism. Shout it. Absorbing mechanism. Now, examples of animal that exhibits absorbing mechanism is the tapeworm. The tapeworm, otherwise called Taenia solium. And of course, there are two species of tapeworm. You now have Taenia saginata. As I earlier said in my previous slide, I said Taenia solium is found in pork and Taenia saginata is found in cattle. All right. Now the primary host of Taenia solium is man. The secondary host is what? Pork. All right. Now tapeworm exhibits absorbing what? Mechanism. All right. That is, tapeworm is not capable of digesting its what? Food. All right. It lacks alimentary canal, which means that it rests. It is found within the digested food materials of its host. It is just there. All right. It does not digest its food. That is because it lacks alimentary canal. Therefore, it only absorbs nutrients from the already digested food of its host. Now, having possessed such features, there are different features that enable it to survive in the environment of its host. Number one, you know, the tapeworm has head. Sorry, I said head, sorry. The tapeworm has head, and this head, on it you have the rostrum, you have the hook, and you have the sucker. Alright, the rostrum, the hook, and the sucker are make up the head. The rostrum, hook, and sucker make up the head. Now, the hook is used for what? Attachments. And the sucker is used for what? Sucking food materials. All right, sucking food materials. And please take note of that. The hook can do both attachment and what? Sucking. But they'll ask you which of these parts of the tapeworm is used. It uses to attach itself to the ileum of the small intestine of man. It is what? The hook. Then the sucker sucks blood. Good, that is for that. Then two, definitely it has the proglottids or the proglottides. Now the proglottides enables it to absorb food materials efficiently. Right? It's enable it to absorb food material efficiently. Another thing it possesses is a cuticle. Now the cuticle is, the work of the cuticle is to prevent the tapeworm from being digested by the enzyme that the host produces. You know that we humans, we have certain enzymes that trigger or stimulate the digestion of food materials. Now that tapeworm is found in the ileum of the small intestine, you have different enzymes, all right, produced in the ileum of the small intestine. So as such, it has cuticle that prevents it from being digested by those enzymes that the host produces. Please take note of that. It is very, very important. And again, number 4, it has flat body. That's why they call it a flat one. All right. This flat body it possesses provides large surface area for the absorption of what? Food materials. So please, these are the features of the tapeworm. And of course, you know that the tapeworm is a platyhelminth. All right, it's a platyhelminth. All right, you know we have 8 phyla. Carolus Linnaeus was the first to carry out binomial system of nomenclature, the act of giving 2 names to an organism. Now he gave 8 phyla and 5 kingdoms. Okay, now you have the kingdom Monera, kingdom Protista, kingdom Fungi, kingdom Plantae, and kingdom Animalia. All right, we have 8 phyla, and one of those phyla you have what? Phylum Platyhelminthes. Okay, the animals involved are called platyhelminths. So please take note of that. At this point, we'll call it a day. But before I round off the class, please permit me to do something. Okay, I guess I'll rub off these parts. Now, sometimes they test us by bringing for us diagrams. Okay, and it is good sometimes to take note of diagrams. That when we happen to sit for an exam, we won't be finding it difficult to get use of the various parts of the diagram given. Okay. Now you have something like this. Now this region is called the rostellum. Now this region is called the hook, and here is called the sucker, and here is the neck. Now these first divisions are called young proglottids. Now I told you the functions of the proglottids is a what? Efficient absorption, while these other parts here are called mature proglottids. So at this point, we'll call it a day. Please endeavor to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Subscribe, like and share to your friends who are also in need of these videos. And as you do so, God will bless you. Thanks for watching, and always call me if you have issues. You can call me on this number 09160115375, or you can WhatsApp me via 07044180387. Alright, that's my WhatsApp number. So this diagram here is a diagram of what? Tape 1. Alright, diagram of tape 1. So have a wonderful day, and always remember to subscribe. Please subscribe.